Good evening. You're flying with Pod Squadron podcast. All wings report in. This is Andy, Pod Job, standing by.
This is Tracy, Pod Tracer, standing by.
This is Lexi, Podmay, standing by.
Jason, Children of a Lesser Pod, standing by.
All ships to attack formation. Mission objectives to talk about Star Wars and movies, streaming, animation, books, themed experiences, and your art and inspiration from a galaxy far, far away. Today's flight plan includes episode 11 of Star Wars Andor, The Daughter of Ferrix, and Tales of the Jedi, the new animated series from Dave Filoni, as well as a little bit of news, because, boy, this has been a very eventful week, really. But for all of you out there, all com channels are open. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Find us on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you know when we have new content. But first, I am your squad leader for today. I am Andy Lowe, aka the Chinese Pirate, director, storyteller, puppeteer, performer, and fight choreographer. On my wing, as always, is Tracy.
Hi, my name is Tracy. I go to Marine Corps balls one day and then shovel chicken shit the next day. Woo!
And on my other wing is Lexi.
Hi guys, Lexi, Feral Geek Aesthetic on Instagram. What am I doing right now? It's the holidays. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Just on standby until January.
No, really, time doesn't exist. Multidisciplinary artist, caterer on the side, desk walker in training.
and holding down our rear flank is Jason.
Hello. I'm back after hiatus.
Hey.
I'm back just like this guy's back. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
And we're gonna talk about that at least a little bit.
The good Bob came back. So
good Bob, bad Bob. But of course, we are just one squad in the fleet. We're part of the Geekish Network. That's right
Bobbing
here,
for CEOs.
right here on the Geekish Network. Also, that's on both Facebook and Instagram, not on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been an eventful
How many
couple of weeks.
CEOs can we get rid of?
I mean, geez. How many evil emperors can we get rid of? As spoils to attack position, we're going in. So yeah, of course it's been a very eventful week, and of course we're heading into Thanksgiving, and just to be thankful for the good things that are going on with each of us, and even the small good things are things to be cherished. But we do want to spend a little moment just to call attention to and think of all of our friends and allies and communities that we are part of. Lexi, do you want to talk a little bit about bring it down a little bit, but
Yeah. So this weekend, I'm sure a lot of you guys heard there was a shooting at Club Q in Colorado Springs, which is about an hour and a half away from Denver, where I'm at. I was actually at a gay bar that night. I was telling the crew it's about the same time, and I was just, an hour and a half away. Got lucky that, I guess the guy was from somewhere else in Colorado, but it was really a reminder of how special these spaces are and how fragile they are, in a certain sense, but the community is really strong. There's already so we're not just sending good thoughts over. The Colorado Healing Fund, coloradohealingfund.org, is supporting the victims, families, and communities affected by the Club Q shooting. So if you guys want to support the queer community out here in Colorado, that's a good place to look at, as well as looking at the Transgender Center of the Rockies. So those are two good local orgs that could probably use a lot of support right now, because the spaces might be fragile, but the community is really resilient. And I'm grateful for that.
Thank you for that. And maybe we can drop a link for that in the chat so you can take a look for that yourself. Yeah, and I mean, I do want to kind of call attention to, it's like, we are we are here on a geekish network. We are here on a Star Wars podcast, which is, I mean, for those of us who have been geeks and nerds long enough, it's like, we, in a very similar way, we are in the process of creating safe spaces for ourselves and our own communities. And it is heartbreaking to hear of other communities' safe spaces violated. It does affect me, and it affects all of us. And from one safe space to another, and to shared safe spaces, we are thinking of everyone, and as much as in any way we can, we have each other's back. And I just want to express that and extend that to anyone who is feeling less secure or feeling, I don't know. Yeah, just that. In an
the good
uneloquent
news
way.
is 84% of young people support things like same-sex marriage. So I feel like at least we're trending, and hopefully this is something that just becomes a shameful part of our history, like so many other things, right?
Yeah, indeed. But yes, moving on to other things. Of course, this is Thanksgiving, and as we give kind of thanks to the blessings in the shadow of darkness, we also have, of course, Thanksgiving coming up, and we just passed a important Star Wars holiday this past week. Of course, it was Life Day. November 17th is the observed day because it marks the first premiere, the first broadcast of the Star Wars Holiday Special on CBS. And of course, that is the fictional holiday that is observed by the Wookiees, which usually involves very furry beings inexplicably wearing robes, and holding orbs of light. But it is something that, of course, we as Star Wars fans have embraced as well, because hey, it's kooky, and Star Wars is kooky. So,
Well, in Star Trek, we celebrate Picard Day.
Yes.
In Doctor Who, we celebrate Impossible Astronaut Day. And Lord of the Rings, we celebrate, when
Elevensies.
Bilbo woke up,
Elevensies.
on the, what is it, like the 11th of October or whatever. Like, we gotta have our nerdy holidays.
I've
It's
just
a
really
good
been
thing.
coveting one of those Wookiee robes because they look really comfortable.
They do.
They're
They
like
kinda
big
look like a
snuggies.
Snuggie.
That's exactly what I want right now.
First contact day. Thank you.
Because it is, oh man, what is it? 34 degrees out here right now, and that's mild.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, I mean, of course, as we, this is the time as we come closer to the solstice, right? It's like the hours are shorter, the days are shorter, and it gets darker quicker, and we find joy where we can, right? Which is why we have a holiday season. So happy Life Day to all of you. If any of you happen to be at either park, either in Florida or in Anaheim, Star Wars Galaxy Edge has a lot of Life Day merchandise, which you can seek out, like said Snuggie robes, and mugs that look like glowing orbs and other things. They also have some seasonal food. The hand pies are back. I really enjoyed those hand pies, actually, so I'm glad to hear they're
Hand?
back.
Like a hand?
Hand pie, yeah. Basically, I mean, they called it a hand pie.
What kind of creature is the hand that is inside the pie?
Well, it's more like a pie for your hand, right?
A hand-sized pie.
Really, it was kind of more of a samosa, but they called it a hand pie. I thought they were great, though. They were yummy. So be on the lookout for that. Also, the other news in Batu, Batu got its first sightings of Din Djarin and Grogu this week. It's pretty cool. Jason, have you seen any of the video of?
I saw the video, and a friend of ours was down there this weekend. Did she see Grogu and Yes, and they saw them walking around. So yeah, they said that was pretty cool. So yeah, but I'm not
To
going back for a
crowds.
while.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to a park for a while. I still have paying for the Halcyon, so I have but yeah, somewhere down the road. But yeah, but it looks really cool. I mean, I saw it at D23,
Yeah.
when they brought him out on stage.
Yeah, it's a fully animatronic
Yeah.
Grogu that sits in a bag in a little side satchel.
Yep.
Moves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's
How much do you
squeals
think
and-
that's going to run in the store?
I know.
There's a little clip on my Instagram story of them. You can, I think you can. You might be able to see his head move. I don't know if you can in the video I posted, but he's
Did
there.
I just see that there was like Magic Key? I feel like there was Magic Key drama and Taylor Swift drama this week.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
no one could get tickets for either one.
But like both systems had issues. Like it seemed like there was like a whole lot going on.
I mean, Taylor Swift had issues. Magic Keys. Okay, so let's get into this one. I could talk about this for a little while, so I gotta make sure I cut myself short.
They still have the cheaper ones up on the site.
No, actually, not at all. So okay, so this is what happened. So first of all, CEO Bob Chapek of Disney delivered the quarterly report, and it was one of the lowest reports in terms of earnings. It showed massive deficit, and basically he let this all out along with announcements for massive layoffs, and of course they had already initiated a hiring freeze. The main thing is that it shows a lot of spending in content creation and nowhere close to the projected earnings that they had made for streaming. And of course, the only thing that was making money is the parks, which of course is still faltering after they had basically shut out a lot of annual pass holder Magic. They had halted sales on annual pass holders in Florida, and they had shut down Magic Key sales in Anaheim. And
all of you undesirables.
Yes, I am wearing my unfavorable
unfavorables.
Oh, that's funny.
T-shirt because I am an unfavorable.
That's fantastic.
But
and basically what it was that the people who were pass holders were making up a lot of the daily attendance and keeping out people who are paying full ticket price. Is that
well, not
correct?
Really keeping out. It's really more so that Bob Chapek and his team really have made huge efforts to increase the daily spending per capita of attendees. And if you are an annual pass holder who comes by every week, and what your favorite food is, and like that there's no point in buying a lightning lane or a Genie Plus reservation because you're only there for a couple of hours and you're just there to kind of get a little dose or a little break. Then we're not spending as much because we're not like the guest who comes for only 1 week, once a year, and are doing sit-down dinners at $50 to $70 a meal, and doing hotel stays and buying the lightning lanes because they're afraid if they don't buy the lightning lane, they might not get to ride Space Mountain at all because they're only there for 2 days. Of course, what that ignores is that Anaheim is very much a locals park. There are a lot more people who just live here and go to the park regularly. So a lot of people were feeling very put off by how this regime kind of treated its most loyal fans and consumer base. And on top of that, a lot of the cast members have felt very disillusioned. I mean, particularly in how safe various communities within the Disney cast member community were feeling, and how they were represented or not represented by Bob Chapek, and stances that he made. Kind of speaking of that, but he kind of botched the whole Disney being involved in the gay bill in Florida, kind of which turned into his war with DeSantis, and various other things. So he hasn't made anyone happy. Of course, there were also massive layoffs, and a lot of legacy Imagineers have left or have been forced to move to Florida and decided to quit instead of moving to Florida. So all of that context, and then you add in the fact the fact that he's reporting, a stock price that is, I mean, literally 40 to 50% under what it was a year ago. I mean, and granted, that's over. The whole market is depressed, but it's pretty. They're feeling it. So the shocking news as of last night was that Bob Chapek has resigned. And when I look at that in the context of everything else that happened in the last week, that Magic Keys just with no warning at all went back on sale for one day before they were pulled off the website again, right? There was that. There was also the announcement.
Do you think he was forced out, or do you think he really quit?
Oh, I think he was definitely forced out.
Yeah.
I think that after my speculation is after the bad earnings report, there were a number of desperation moves, announcing the layoffs, announcing Andor going to broadcast, because Andor will be brought on what is it, Hulu and ABC and whatnot, trying to use that to drive up. But of course, it's only the first 2 episodes, not the first 3 episode arc, which is like,
that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And then of course announcing the Magic Keys with no warning of all of those going back on sale for one day and then being cut off. And it's like, it sounds to me like there were some desperation moves after he got a lot of flack for this poor earnings report, until the board basically said, okay, stop everything you're doing. We're going to talk to Bob Iger, and now daddy's home.
It makes you wonder if Bob Iger was like in his trying to enjoy his retirement and just watching all this, because was he still a member of the board or anything? I don't even know. But and just being like, what are you doing with my baby? Like, why?
I bet that was part of it. And then also like, and here's how much we want for you to come back, like monetarily speaking. So, I mean, because I'm betting that they sweeten that pot.
I feel like everybody I know has Disney Plus. It's like the one streaming service that like everybody has besides Netflix,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too with Iger is Iger, even though he's not on the board anymore, most of his severance was in shares. So, I mean, he's
my retirement.
Yeah, his retirement is now half what it was.
Because he's really hurting, I'm sure.
Yeah. Wait, my mad money. I'm gonna go buy more socks.
I mean, and to be fair, at the outset, Bob Chapek did inherit a company with a massive debt, because the last thing that Iger did was purchase Fox. And so there was a huge debt to kind of be recoconiled.
And then almost immediately COVID happened, and then the park shut down.
COVID happened, and so I mean, but I do want to give him that benefit of the doubt. But I also have not been
impressed
with his logic. Right?
He's good at doing damage control, but it's going to be like, this is going to be a real uphill battle. I mean, he's got 2 years of mistakes now on top of everything else to make up for, and I think it's going to be really telling what he does. If Genie Plus gets revamped or disappears, Fast Passes come back.
There's that story of like, if you a new CEO takes over a failing company, and in the drawer he finds 3 envelopes, and after the first quarter he opens the first envelope and it says blame me. So that's what he does at the quarterly meeting. The second quarterly meeting comes up and it's doing even worse, and so he opens the envelope and it says blame the economy. So that's what he does. And they say, okay, next quarter comes up, everything's just really gone to shit. So he opens up the third envelope and it says make 3 envelopes. I feel like that was Bob Chapek.
Yeah. Well,
They're making 12 envelopes right now. That's what they're.
well, that, I mean, yeah, it should be very interesting to see what happens. We'll see what he does because, I mean, Bob is very vocal about, you know, his philosophy was always invest in creatives and invest in making sure these brands are the strongest that they can be. And yeah, you know, they are in a shortfall. But you know, I mean, you know, he knows going into this, and you can see the memos that have gone out to cast members and fans alike. That, I mean, he is committed to kind of regaining confidence in, you know, cast members and fans, and it'll be interesting to see. He's on for a 2-year period, and he is also going to be looking out for a successor because it's only a 2-year contract, and it'll be interesting to see who gets lined up for that because most of the other really strong candidates were all fired or pushed out by Chapek over the last 2 years. And that's another reason why people think this might have come out, because he was starting to hammer down on another person who was eyed as kind of climbing up the ladder. So yeah,
Well, good Bob will bring him back.
good Bob will bring him back. Bring him back, Bob.
There was one article I read just today at work about everything you were just saying, and they had a photo of Iger, and I don't know if it was recent or a year ago or whatever, but it was like, it was just the best photo. It was him getting out of a car going like this. It's like, and I'm like, well, I'm like, if that's him walking back into work today, I'm like, that would be perfect. It's like, oh God.
Yes,
to clean up Bobby's mess.
Yes, and unlike Riker, it did not get better the second year when he grew the beard.
No. No, that's right. Yeah. Did he think that was going to make him like
he
more...
tried the Riker technique?
Yeah, he really did. And it did not work. That just made him look
Somehow
like
I missed all those pictures. I never saw the beard.
No, he looked like a, I don't know, just mountain man, and it just didn't make him more admirable in any sense of the word. Just like, but I guess he felt like, look, now I'm like you. I forgot to pay, and I have $400 billion. So it's, but I'm holding out hope that good Bob will fix some things, but I know he also can't pull back on a lot of what was done. So
Yeah.
I mean,
they've invested a lot in.
they did.
Plus.
They did.
I did
Kevin-
see some speculation that the firings are not going to be. It did not stop with Chapek. Somebody would post that.
Oh yeah,
like,
someone from Disney Plus got fired today too. Some
Yeah.
big wig. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing
or
too.
even
okay.
like Pixar maybe, or somebody was even saying maybe even Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh.
was,
I don't.
What?
I don't think Kathleen Kennedy.
the
is
speculation.
I think
There's a lot of speculation.
Yeah, I think that's still yeah. There's you know, there's that. I mean, I will say that, you know, there are many people in the upper ranks of the company. I mean, you know, one of the first things that Bob Chapek did was kind of bring in all of his team into all key positions. So like, you know, the chief financial officer is still Chapek's, you know, administration and so forth. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Yeah.
Let's see how the Indy 5 trailer is, and then maybe your Kathleen Kennedy prediction will be.
I mean, to be honest, look, I mean, content-wise, Disney is still primed, right? I mean, Andor is going gangbusters.
Yeah.
Critically,
Yeah.
it hasn't quite pushed the viewing numbers yet, but I mean, they are confident enough in the product that it's like long term. It will. I think it'll continue to perform well. They're about to release both Indy 5 and Avatar, or actually sooner than that, Avatar 2 is about to release. And I know we all say, I don't really care about Avatar, but when it comes out, we're all gonna go see it. Let's just
Are
We'll just
we?
make sure
I
that-
never saw the first one until it came out on TV.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think it's still going to perform really well.
I have a photo shoot that I'm like a second set of a photo shoot that I've been holding on to just for this movie. So,
I mean, there's some amazing design in the first film. It is spectacle, and that's what James Cameron does very well.
yes.
There are certain things that are just better as rides, and Avatar, I feel like, is one of them.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really a movie so much as it was a ride.
See, and I didn't see it, like a lot of people said you had to, like the only thing the only reason to see it was to see it on a big screen, almost like like an IMAX screen, because it was kind of this whole like visual journey. And I waited and saw it on my TV. Yeah.
I saw it
so
in
if
theaters, and it was very like immersive feeling for something that was just on screen.
I would very much agree. I saw it in Hollywood on a 3D IMAX screen, and that was at the pinnacle of the 3D craze. And it was like, it, to my mind, it is still the best use of 3D I've ever seen. Was the movie good? No. But I mean, but the visual.
Well, it was basically like Ferngully meets Pocahontas. So
right, yeah.
You know,
It was,
okay.
yeah.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say a.
Ferngully was better.
Ferngully was
Ferngully had Tim Curry, so
Sorry, Andy, I didn't mean to interrupt. I love Ferngully.
Ferngully had Tone Loc. So.
Robin Williams right before the Genies.
Right.
Everyone was like, "Oh, he's doing 2 cartoons. Oh, this is amazing."
Okay, I'm gonna say a controversial statement. I actually don't think Avatar 1 was a bad movie. Derivative, yes, very derivative. But I mean, all in all the story points are there.
it held together.
It holds together. They there's some lazy stuff. I mean, unobtainium, really. But I mean, all in all, it's like it's just formulaic. It's not bad. It's well crafted. Just
I wouldn't disagree with that, because you know what, Pocahontas and Ferngully, those were fun movies. Those were good. So
Dances with Wolves, right?
Yeah.
For years I was calling it Dances
yeah.
with Panthro.
Yeah, I said it wasn't good. I didn't say it was the worst thing I've ever seen. I've definitely seen worse than Avatar.
It was bubblegum for the brain is all, right? And it's not that that's a bad thing, but if you're expecting, if it's going to be nominated for Oscars and things like that for anything other than like visual effects, but hey, enjoy the bubblegum for the brain. I like Twilight, and I'll say it. I don't care. I like Twilight. Bubblegum for the brain.
and so that said, more bubblegum for the brain. That is very exciting. Yeah, we have new images for Indy 5 that came out in some magazine articles. Check those out, because they are pretty cool to see. Harrison Ford back in the hat, even if he's kind of melty.
And this is definitely the last one.
I mean, the man's what, 70?
No, he's like 80. He's
80?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's talks of a Disney Plus show, but to continue it. But I'm wondering if that's going to be.
I'm thinking
Phoebe
animated,
Walter
right?
doing it, or I don't know, because we've already had Young Indy. They can't do that again.
And Young Indy died.
They could. They
So-
could. Yeah. They could just.
Young Indy died?
Wasn't he River Phoenix?
Oh yeah. Well, there was.
I'm talking the TV
also
show Young Indy. Sorry, not.
Yeah, that's Sean
Oh,
Patrick
yeah.
Flannery, actually.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
still-
that's right.
He's still around. He's still.
And actually,
boondocking
that was a great show. Actually, I
It
rewatched
was. I
it
loved
really
that
in-
show.
A lot of people got their starts on that, like
Yeah.
Daniel Craig
Yeah.
and Catherine Zeta-Jones, and there's
Yeah.
fewer people on there
worth
now.
revisiting. And the
Oh,
show,
we're dating
unfortunately,
ourselves.
The show ended right before canonically he's supposed to meet Abner Ravenwood, which is still a really potentially interesting. Okay, we're kind of going off of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I still think an animated adventures would be really cool. And of course, hey, Ke Kwan is right there. You could do short round spin-off. I'm all for that.
That would actually be super awesome. I would totally watch that.
Yeah, a Disney Plus show for years.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yes.
so awesome.
The other thing, of course, is that the next thing actually releasing very soon is going to be Willow, and that's looking really exciting as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
As Tracy vibrates.
I'm getting it. Like, I've been so worried, and I'm getting excited now that it's closed, but I'm still so worried that they're going to somehow mess it up. But I'm just also really excited for if it's really good. And I have all kinds of, I'm a volcano inside of me about Willow.
I mean, footage is looking good. I'm kind of looking forward. I do have to do a rewatch of the original movie. Maybe that's something we can do down the line if we take a little mini Star Wars,
that would be
but
fun.
still a Lucasfilm themed thing if we do a Willow rewatch maybe an upcoming week. But we should get on to the main event, talking about really exciting things, because of course this week, in a couple of days, we are on to the final season finale of Star Wars Andor season 1.
I don't want it to end.
So yeah, let's talk about the penultimate episode, last week's episode 11, Daughter of Ferrix. This is spoiler territory, so if you haven't watched it, what the hell's wrong with you? Get on that. But yeah, first impressions.
I want Luthen's Knight Rider car. That thing was just so badass, and he was just so cool as a cucumber and under control. And then all those old designs that came back into play from the old artwork. I know I'm jumping ahead like towards the end of the episode, but I mean, like, that stuff I remember from like art books, and I was like, oh wow, there it is. Oh, but we blew it up, and oh, there it went. So I
it was so you're referring to is it the Cantwell class?
Yes.
Star Destroyer?
Yes.
Which of course is a callback to one of the concept artists who came up with this design with the big satellite dishes. And of course, it was not used until when was it used?
I think the first time you saw it was in Solo. It was like on a screen, like in the background.
A recruitment video.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good spot. Good spot.
And now we know what the big satellite dishes are for. They are
tractor beams.
Tractor beams.
The way he used the force of the gravity of that to then shoot all those things and then destroy it.
The way he used the force
of
the tractor beam.
Yes.
They also pick up 900 channels of porn. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
The intergalactic
holographic porn.
Holographic intergalactic porn. It's like, guys, we lost him, and now we have no cable. This fun days, am I right?
They're gonna be trying to look through the fuzziness.
It's all the squiggly lines. Yeah.
I saw a boob.
Oh, damn, we ruined.
Somebody go out there and smack it. Maybe
they kick it. Yeah, they'll just kick it a couple times.
Dude, I saw her Leku.
That was the greatest tangent of all time. So, okay, now we can get back to the show. Okay.
Okay. So since we're already there, let's talk about this ship. The Fondor has all these tricks apparently. Okay, so we've kind of danced around like the speculation rumor mill, or not really rumor, more speculation of, we've seen Luthen has a little stick that extends. He also has a kyber crystal, and now he has a ship that apparently has a double-bladed lightsaber built into it.
Yeah.
Which is like, wait a minute.
It was weird enough that he could go to light speed, right? And now he's got, we find out that he has all these things that can battle against, or fight against force fields, or tractor beams rather. He's got like 007, like things that burst out. He's got lasers, he's
that shit to Toretto's chop shop, and he's got family, and he's got
Galactic Man of Mystery over here.
Family. Okay, so what do you guys think? Are they actual just laser beams that are just sustained laser beams, or are they like they appeared to be, like lightsaber blades emanating out of a ship?
Kevin thinks it's a giant kyber crystal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I want him to be a Jedi or a Sith or ex-Jedi more than anyone else.
Or even force sensitive.
But it's like they are hinting, and it's still pretty cool if he. I mean, it would be a very cool story if he was, an ex-Jedi, or that has adopted the tools of the Sith to defeat his enemy, right?
Maybe he's like a Dooku love child.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be a child of somebody, right?
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. Great sequence. Let's see here. Other things that jumped out at you guys.
Part of me was really sad that we didn't see Marva die, and part of me was really grateful that we didn't see her die. I couldn't figure out which one I was.
I absolutely agree with that, because it's effective actually in that way, right? Not seeing her
kind of puts us almost in Cassian's shoes.
We kind of saw through B2 eyes, too.
Right. It makes us feel for B2.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little unceremoniously from an actor perspective, like, oh, where'd Fiona Shaw go? Like, why did she get like more of a sense? But I think from a story point, that's exactly how it needed to go. And then we were grieving along with him and everyone else, and like, oh, she's gone. We'll never see her again.
Well, I mean, for that matter, not even seeing it through Cassian's eyes, but seeing it through little B2.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're saying. His one eye. Yeah, it's just like,
like literally. Yeah.
I just thought it was so well done. Like that first shot, it's like, wait, what are we looking at? It was like, him like, through that liquid, and then you see what it is, and I'm not describing it properly, but I mean, it's just, it's just all this, that you're just clouded by all this grief, and it was just seeing through it. It was really poignant, I felt. You know?
That his name is really accurate now with how sad and mopey he is.
Yes.
Emo.
Yeah.
Also seeing like how people are reacting to him, like some, just like with all of Star Wars, like, certain people are, see droids as lesser than, and some people, see them as, true companions, and seeing how, I mean, the liquid was like somebody had been using him as like a tabletop, right? Like they just set a drink on him.
Well, and that was one of the other people in the room who was like, well, what do we do about the droid? And it's like, just the droid, right? As opposed to...
I almost read that as if he was like, almost like crying initially, like, it was welling up, and then obviously that's not what it was, but I mean you can open interpretation 1,000 ways, but it was just so
I mean, to see the one guy treat him like, to see him treat him like almost like he was her child, right? Like, do you want to see her? Do you want to say goodbye? I'll take you with me. I'll take care. Yeah.
It's also very, very puppy-esque, right? I mean, it's kind of like, the whole bit with where he doesn't want to leave the house.
Yeah.
He's like, can we stay one more night?
Yeah, let's stay one more night.
It's like,
Kevin has a theory.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
He thinks we're gonna see a recording from her droid that shows her getting killed. Do you think do we think she got killed though? Because that was
I thought they said she wasn't taking her meds or something.
Yeah.
Right, because everybody was using her as bait.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they were already heavily like alluding to her like just kind of getting older, and she had the fall. Remember, she had the fall because she was looking at the grate and coming up with plans to infiltrate the hotel, right?
Yeah.
But I think that will pay off later, right? It's going to be a thing where, Cassian finds out, this is how she fell and how she hurt herself coming up with this plan. He finds the plan and he basically carries it through or something, right?
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Fulfilling her dying wishes, sort of.
This is also there's also a really interesting scene adjacent to that, right? Where we see
Jason.
It's me. No, I'm saying that was terrible.
You're welcome.
But Cinta, right? Cinta is watching from afar as everyone's, carrying her away and all that, and she happens to be like a barista or something in a coffee house or something, serving the Imperial spy.
Right.
Which is like,
and she recognized him as a spy, right? Like he doesn't recognize that she's a spy, but she recognizes that he's a spy.
Yeah, I think that is implied, which is kind of a cool little bit of intrigue for that and how that's gonna go.
Cinta?
Santa Claus. I don't know. Christmas.
We haven't
sorry.
even had Thanksgiving.
I know. I don't like Thanksgiving though, so I just skip right to Christmas.
Life Day. It's still.
I don't really like either of them, but people make me food.
By that note, I should hate both of those holidays too. So.
It's Indigenous Peoples Awareness Day. That's that's kind of what we kind of say in our house.
We also
And
saw
Festivus.
we
Just
also saw
Festivus.
Vel. Basic Vel has gotten word from Cinta that she's died and that they are planning the funeral. And
I know it's shallow, but I love her Veronica Lake look and with the earrings and the hair. I just think she looks
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
That's all. I just digress.
yeah, love her. She cleans up good.
She does. She cleans up real good.
Get you a girl who can do both.
That's right. Going to the Marine Corps ball and then shoveling chicken shit.
There you go.
Both looks too, you know.
Other moments that jumped out to you guys.
Oh, what's his name shooing his mom out of the video? Like, Mom!
Oh yeah, that was like I told him, Mom, I'm on the phone.
You're embarrassing me in front of my friend.
You're embarrassing me.
Cyril
My
Karn.
milk and Cocoa Puffs.
Well, Cyril Karn, once again reunited. Well, not really reunited, but with Sergeant Linus Mosk, who comes back in a very amusing hollow call, where he can't hear a thing. We've all had those calls.
I love how he gave his mom such a hard time for going through his stuff, and then he just steals stuff from her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna go through your stuff.
Heard
Although
about
honestly,
your mother.
I mean, that with a mom who is like that, I kind of can't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he probably goes through there every so often. It's like, all right, where's that shit that I know she took from me? Let's reclaim my things. They probably just have like a merry-go-round of each other's things going out of each other's safes. Yeah.
And Rodney here says, like every good incel does, steals the mom's stash.
Yeah. Oh my God, could you imagine if he had like a little porn collection? Like she'd be like all over that. She'd be like, "Man, what are you doing?"
Well, as we established, ain't nobody watching the porn now. Luthen done blown it up.
Yeah. None of those outer rim channels.
No. Wink, wink.
Oh God! I want to say a dirty joke so bad. I can't though. I can't.
Say it. Say it.
Well, I mean,
Come on, now you have to. Yeah.
I would say it if it was my joke.
I mean, outer rim job. I mean,
Oh, see, that's okay.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
Thank you.
That was
For
tame.
the follow
That was
through
tame.
on.
Almost classy, Andy.
okay.
Almost classy.
But they're basically setting up for everybody to end up on Ferrix,
Yeah,
right?
all the pieces, all the chess pieces are convening on Ferrix, clearly, which is you know a lot of what this episode is. It's a lot of setup for and building anticipation for the finale.
How much do you love that Andor is like the most popular guy and he has no idea?
Right.
Completely clueless.
Like I'm just a tourist.
Well, okay, let's talk about that. So we also get some really actually great tiny little scene with him and Melshi hanging from a cliff as the Imperial shuttle goes by, and Melshi's just like, I can't hang on, I can't do this, and Cassian's just like, they're leaving, and it's a really cool little exchange where he's like, you know, you heard me, right? And it's like, yeah,
I hear you.
And he's like, tell me again. He's like, they're leaving. It's like, that's cool.
Climb.
He was giving him hope. Yeah, climb.
Yeah.
There's the
that
word.
was
again.
some
Yeah.
Kimmy Schmidt stuff. You can deal with anything for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Climb. It's the last thing K2 said in Rogue One.
So
Oh.
much physical activity.
Yeah, climb the rope like you did in gym class. No, I hate gym class.
um uh Also, for everyone who was like, where are all the aliens? And of course we have been seeing a lot of background aliens, but we haven't gotten like a full-on weird alien scene. We finally get Dewey Pamelar and Freedy Pamelar, who are
Onesie and
two
twosie.
Narkinian.
Thing 1 and thing 2.
Yeah, I kind of love that scene.
One and onesie, two and twosies. And these are people who have played other characters, right? Like anytime there's like, they tend to reuse the same actors behind
Right.
these masks. Like the
Well, I mean,
four-armed
basically they're
doctor was one
puppeteer-
of the.
Yeah, I mean, they're an ensemble of puppeteers, basically, right?
It's like using Sam Witwer for like half the voices, like we're just keeping it in the face. Oh, I found out that Bryce Dallas Howard was one of the voices for something.
Yeah, she was in Tales of the Jedi.
Oh, that's right. Oh, are we even gonna have time to talk about Tales of the Jedi tonight? I completely forgot about Tales of the Jedi.
We'll get into that. Let's see here. Anything we have not covered? Oh, Mon Mothma.
Oh yeah, she's totally selling her daughter into marriage.
Yeah.
But her daughter,
is-
her daughter's like a super traditionalist, and it feels like they're leading to.
Talking about that, weren't we? Like, oh man, what if her daughter has, ideology? Like, I think we were talking like she might
Yeah.
be kind of like Hitler Youth, but this
Hitler
is a
Youth.
different way.
Yeah.
It's different kind of the same thing,
Yeah,
I think her daughter's like into it.
she's so into it, which is like, but and of course she's just doing. Oh well, mom's not into this, so I'm all into it. It's like,
But she even said like this is on an upswing. It's not like she was the only one. She had
Yeah.
gathered up all these girls and like their own little Girl Scout leader, and they were like, we are gonna be subservient and we're gonna braid our hair and be like
the creepy,
the old
creepy
ways.
little chant thing that they were doing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
also really creepy how they like layered that in over over the end of the Bix
Gesundheit.
interrogation. Thank you. Over the end of the Bix interrogation scene, how they were layering
yeah.
voices over. Ooh, that gave me creeps. I
Yeah.
that was good, but I didn't like it.
That's true. We also get to see Bix now like tormented and recalling Dr. what's his name? Dr.
I don't know.
Forrest?
Dr. Creepy Baby
Forrest.
Voices.
Forced, yeah.
Oh.
Dr. Baby voice.
Which we still haven't heard. We still haven't heard this like horrific sound that
I don't know if
tortures
we will.
people.
I don't think we will. I don't think they're gonna play that for us.
Use your imagination.
Yeah.
What do we think? Do we think that Mon Mothma was really gonna go through with? I mean, because they do kind of tease that Vel now knows the problem. The problem that Mothma is in, needing the 400,000 credits. I mean, she could try and intervene some way, or maybe pick up some of the stolen cash that Luthen.
The deal wasn't to actually arrange a marriage. The deal was just that they could come visit and introduce.
Have a meeting.
So ultimately, it's up to the daughter whether or not she wants to do it. There was nothing said about any of the other stuff. Jason, you have Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah, but depending on where I stay, yes. Now I have Bob Igerhead. No,
So
I don't.
I think she is gonna let him come and bring her son and just like have a dinner party.
Yeah. Especially with her daughter being traditional.
Mhm.
She's like, well, maybe she won't hate me.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that thread develops.
Seems to, on some level, be a very relatable mom who doesn't want her teenage daughter to hate her.
What else? Also nice to see Andor retrieving his blaster and his credits, and of course the manifesto from
I
Nemec.
can't believe that was still there. I really thought it was going to be gone, but yeah.
But it's good to know it's there, right?
Oh yeah, it had to be, but I was really
they didn't have time for that side plot episode.
right, yeah, where the other honeymoon couple was like, hey, whoa, it's the best wedding part ever. So.
And
pour one out for his girlfriend, I guess, who just was like, well, shit, he went out to the store and never came back.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
Where's my? I really wanted my pizzos.
Yeah. I forgot about her. Yeah, she asked for food, so she just went off to 7-Eleven, got her own shit.
Okay, let's talk about the scene with Luthen visiting Saw.
Oh yeah.
So of course, now Saw is gung ho about helping out Anto Krieger with air support, thinking that he can now have the opportunity to loot a bunch of gear, the spoils of this battle. And of course, Luthen knows that ISB knows that this operation is going to happen, and was dead set last episode on sacrificing Anto Krieger's men. Last week they said 50 men. This week they said 30 men. But now he's basically letting Saw kind of decide. All right, I have someone in ISB. I'm willing to sacrifice
able
these
to
men.
make the tough decisions.
Yeah. Really interesting scene. Any thoughts?
To be able to be like Chapek and cut the fat. I'm sorry, I'm just bringing it back.
But it takes Saw Gerrera a minute to come around. Like at first he's like, I mean, because Saw Gerrera is a naturally very paranoid person. So his first thought is, who is telling you about me? Whatever. Yeah. And
like this guy, what? No.
Right.
Poor two tubes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the end, he's like, he kind of sees it. He's like, this is what somebody has to do to fight the good fight is, and so that somebody else can see that sunrise. Somebody's got to make those tough decisions. And I think I can do it.
Let's call it war.
That was really good. That was really good. Love it.
I mean, they really are just leaning into the point that nobody gets to walk away from a conflict like this squeaky clean.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I feel like they've really kind of set up all the pieces to really culminate on Ferrix, but I kind of wonder if we're gonna see the Anto Krieger operation in some way. What do you guys think?
Maybe that'll be the cliffhanger for season 2.
Like the tag or something like that. I mean, I feel like they've got to resolve it. I mean, they also kind of left themselves an interesting out where they questioned Bix if Anto Krieger was Axis. So I mean, they could set up that, and
which means they really have no clue.
Yeah,
who Axis really is.
Grasping at straws right now.
Yeah.
It would be kind of a cool thing of one of Deidre Miro's rivals captures Anto Krieger, takes him for Axis, kills him, tries to take credit for it,
and she's like, I don't think you have the right guy, and everyone's like, come on, Dedra,
right?
Stop stirring the pot, bitch. Because I feel like a lot of her colleagues don't necessarily want to see her succeed.
Yeah, totally. Dude, okay, how about this? Do we think that by the beginning of season 2, Cyril Karn will have joined ISB? Or is he gonna make a mess of things even more on Ferrix?
It seemed, I mean, maybe some kind of entry level, but I don't see him being on like Deidre Miro's level.
I mean, I feel like it's got to go either way, right? It's like either he's gonna totally redeem himself on Ferrix, or he's gonna die, right? I mean, they've set this up so much where it's like there's no middle ground for him.
Maybe he'll be put to work in the mines and he'll be hanging up his gloves. I don't know. I don't see him being accepted into ISB for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like he's too much the like annoying little kid that they don't really
Yeah.
want around. And I will eat my words if I am proven wrong. It's just a gut feeling.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a gut feeling too, where I'm like, maybe he's gonna die. Maybe he's gonna die this episode, right? And it's just going to be.
I don't know that I see him dying either.
I mean, but it's like it's the question of where else can his character go from this point, right? If he doesn't have some resolution
If he
for his
dies,
obsession,
if he dies
know-
trying to get the word out, then maybe it's that Jed Romero finds his like anthology of work after and is like, holy shit, this guy was actually onto something.
Hmm,
I don't know.
yeah.
If they do kill him off. If not, I feel like he's gonna get in trouble again at least once before turning up something that might be useful to the ISB or dangerous to Andor.
Maybe he sees something and joins the resistance.
I mean, that would be another interesting thing too. But okay, but you know what? But here's the other thing. They did also set up the idea that he's the only person who has heard Luthen's voice. That could be something that they take with him, or rather his ticket in, right? If he can identify Luthen or something like that.
Well, we'll find out in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Thinking about that. Yeah, he might get brought on for like a special assignment or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. It'd be kind of funny if he like fumbled the ball again.
I can
Like
totally
the-
see. Yeah.
You know, like they're this close to catching Andor, and he's just a little too overzealous. And
Yeah.
I-
Some indignant.
I mean, something's got to happen
Yeah.
because he started out as a very strong character, whether you liked him or not,
Yeah.
and has not necessarily been like aged well throughout the series, right? Like his representation on the show has not aged well throughout the series. So either it's going to be something with a big bang or a cliffhanger, or he fizzles out.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know.
Okay, so my random speculation. I think we're gonna see a rescue of Bix of some kind, right? Like Ferrix has to rise up or something.
either that or she's gonna die.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think they'll kill Bix.
Hope not, but
Yeah, I hope not. But and yeah, and I think what do you think? Will Cinta and Vel make it out alive?
I think
oh, that's a tough one.
Vel's gonna die.
I
Really?
think they're both gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll die together, holding each
Maybe they'll
other.
Thelma and Louise it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Aww.
Because I mean, I can also see a scenario where ultimately they break ranks with Luthen's orders and don't kill Cassian, and ultimately then you have your new rebel cell of Cinta, Vel, Cassian, liberated Bix, and B2 escaping the planet after all is said and done, right?
And maybe friend, what's his name? Lasso?
Brasso, yeah. Yeah, maybe Brasso too. And the time grappler. I want to see the time grappler with his bell hammers hammering through Imperial troops. That'd be awesome.
That would actually be very cool.
Time grappler. I just said that like Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Time grappler.
Uh,
Any final thoughts? Things you're looking forward to, things you're predicting, things reflections on the series now that we're towards the end.
I did find a set of robes that look like they're very comfy and could go for Wookiee. Life Day
Ooh.
robes. I might actually have to get those for myself for Christmas. I'm sorry, that was Star Wars topic, but not.
Tracy or Jason, any final thoughts for you guys?
I'm just looking forward to seeing how they wrap it all up. And I'm sad that it's the end, but I'm also, kind of glad that we have some resolution because I like resolutions. So yeah, we'll see. There's definitely a season 2, right? Like they've already confirmed that.
Yeah, I mean, actually, they're supposed to start filming very soon now. They are in pre-production, and they have assured people, as they have been on the press tours for the finale.
The one thing I know for sure is that Cassian is not going to die.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing we could be sure of from the start. Yeah.
Neither does Melshi. So
yeah, that's right. I don't think we're going to see him again in this series.
Actually, wait. Here's another thought. Will Luthen die?
Yes.
Oh, he could.
I've always thought he was.
Could very well be on the chopping block. He's
yeah.
already had like at least one speech about how like I won't live to see the success of my endeavors.
Yeah.
So, and the last time they had somebody say something about like being able to rest or sleeping or whatever, that was Nemec, and we don't know how that went.
I think that's a season 2 death though, for sure.
I agree with you. I would actually love to see like his death comes maybe right before Mon Mothma goes public with the Gorman, right? Because that's the poeticism for him.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, she's now in position to be the light of this rebellion, and there's no more need for my darkness, right? Yeah, that'll be interesting.
All right.
I hope we get more. I hope they dig into kind of his origin, like what is his backstory? What is it that made him? Right?
Flashbacks, season 2 flashbacks.
Yeah. He's very interesting.
Or maybe final episode flashbacks. I feel like they have a lot to pack into the last episode.
Yeah.
And more to come, because of course we know this was originally planned as a 5-year epic that they decided to switch into a 2-year thing. But cool. Looking forward to it. It'll be airing on Wednesday, the episode 12, the final episode of Star Wars Andor, or midnight tomorrow night, if you're crazy, like some of us are.
That's what my daughter does.
Fuck all y'all who's staying up.
I wonder if this like a simple explanation, relatively simple, could be that Luthen is from Ilum, from the planet where they mine the kyber crystals.
Oh yeah.
And he could have lost his planet to the Empire, and that could be why it's so important to him, because it's like a fragment of his home.
And that's why he had a giant kyber crystal in his ship and an easy bake oven to shoot that shit out the side. So,
easy bake those TIE fighters.
Yeah, they never worked.
I mean, that's the thing too, right? Because we have met, of course, what was his name? Donnie Yen's character, who was what he was that what they called the Order of the Wills now? They were like from some monk's order who were like not Force sensitives, but
from Rogue One.
From Rogue One, right?
Yeah, I am one with the Force, and the Force is with.
Yeah.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Right.
So he could be like a will that has gone dark, to do what he's done. There was also what was the name of the character at the beginning of Force Awakens?
That one that you got me there.
Which one?
The guy? Was it Max von Sydow or?
Oh, the guy who ended up getting killed by Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It was Max von Sydow. Yeah.
Right. They teased that he was like a historian or something like that worked with Luke Skywalker, and just like was like a historian of Jedi lore or something like that. He could be something like that too, maybe. But and in fact, yes, as we recall, his family line is also teased in the High Republic as well, right? As searchers of Jedi artifacts and all that. But
Well, that would check out with his store.
I was trying to look it up, but I can't find it. Yeah, I don't see.
Side note, if you're not, Werner Herzog was in The Mandalorian, right? He's the
baby.
the German with the very bleak voice. Well, he's kind of like the German David Attenborough for like documentaries. And he'd be like, we see the death of the animal in the field and we think of the ants who consumes the animal. And there is an account on Instagram called Official Sad Beige where she talks about, and she does, welcome to Werner Herzog's sad beige clothes for sad beige children. And it's like all of these like the high end, like where like a doll costs like $1,000 or like a painting smock like costs like $800. Like it is hilarious. So if you want to hear Werner Herzog jokes like I do, because apparently I'm a weirdo, that's the Instagram account to follow.
You're not alone. We watched an entire video of him talking about a penguin marching to his death.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, this is fucking genius.
And the penguin does not know that he's walking to his doom.
And like, yay, penguin death.
I would like to see the penguin.
I would like to see the penguin. Oh, but I can't because he's going to die now.
As he walks, he contemplates the infinite sadness that is life.
Exactly.
He wondered, did I leave the oven on?
Who will take care of the egg? The mother will starve. It's like brutal. It's so German. As a German lady, I can say that. So German.
As a former visual arts major at UCSD, I can talk about German expressionist film. Great. Okay, so once again, Andor. Wrapping up on that. What do we say? It is now 7:45. Do we want to get into Tales of the Jedi?
No.
No.
I think, okay, here's what needs to happen.
Okay.
Next week, we need to just talk about the finale. And then after that, we talk about Tales of the Jedi. Because
by
we're
then I'll
not
have watched
capable
them
of
all.
talking about
Say
two
yes.
things in an
Yeah.
episode.
For sure by then I'll have seen it. Yes.
Because right now it'll be a 3-person discussion.
Yes.
Jason will be left out and
and
he'll
I'll
be
binge
sad and
Yes.
don't
Okay.
spoil it for him.
As Kevin has pointed out, I've had to pee for at least 25 minutes. So
That's right, yeah.
So, with that said, the democracy has spoken.
the Democracy.
Democracy. Sorry, this is twice in a row we've said we'll talk about Tales of the Jedi, but
Gotta be more realistic, guys.
But
More
Andor is
realistic.
way too interesting. We've got to get through all our Andor stuff because it's just way too interesting. So,
Are we doing a show
apologize.
next week? It's Thanksgiving.
I don't
Wait.
know. Are we doing a show next week?
Voice of Rod. Are we doing a show?
Voice of Rod. We call upon the.
Because in our hour of need.
What is our?
Well,
After
Well-
Turkey Day, so that means
Okay.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll see you next Monday.
So next week we'll talk about the finale. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Tracy. I don't know if we should make any promises.
No, not until after
about talking-
Andor.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish out Andor, and then we're gonna get.
This has been an and/or Tales of the Jedi in a
And/or.
couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's a
Spoiler
good
alert, it always ends
idea.
up being or.
I think that's a good idea because basically, I mean, it is a season finale, so I'm
Yeah.
sure we're gonna have like all
Yeah.
kinds of
And we're
talk.
gonna be thinking about how it contextualizes with the whole season. And, yeah.
Give Jason a couple of weeks to watch Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
What squadron shall contemplate if the tales are worth contemplating?
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent. Okay, then let's wrap it up. Then I have so much to scroll down. So much to scroll. Okay, there we are. Any final thoughts from the chat, Tracy, that we want to address?
Oh gosh, there's stuff about giant kyber crystal. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen one. They kept calling Cassian by name even when he said not to.
Yeah.
The daughter is goose stepping along to the Emperor's commands. Karn stole his mom's credit cards. Even Thanksgiving leftovers. We're just gonna be sitting around at home because we won't have the energy to go out. There we go.
There we go. So yeah, we'll see you next week. We're going to talk about the season finale, and also we'll talk about Tales of the Jedi at a later date. Of course, next February, Bad Batch is coming out, and we'll do a rewatch. We'll take a little break from Star Wars to talk about Willow and the upcoming Willow series that will be starting very soon. And of course, we know that Mando season 3 will be coming up next year too. They have wrapped shooting, and that's all exciting too. So lots of stuff out there, a lot of things coming up. Yeah, come on back. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Geekish Network. Please follow the Geekish Network on YouTube and Facebook and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us here on Monday nights. Check out the schedules for all the other great shows that are here throughout the week. And don't stay tuned for Geek Beast because they are not on tonight. Thanks to the flight deck to Rodney once again, as always. We are the Pod Squadron. Check out all of our content on podsquadron.com and like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, YouTube. For podcast subscriptions, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. I am the Chinese Pirate at ChinesePirate _ on all platforms.
I am Tracy the Hot Nerd Girl, and I always find it amusing to listen to Andy go through that whole spiel every week.
Lexi, you guys can find me at Feral Geek Aesthetic or Feral Geek.
Jason,
like Hunt for Me on-
BeyondForever.net, Beyond Forever Studios, everywhere else.
Excellent. And also, I'm just going to throw this out there to self-plug. If you happen to be in LA or in downtown LA, there's a great play that just opened at East West Players. It's a ghost story called The Brothers Paranormal by an amazing playwright named Prince Gomavilas, local playwright. It is a ghost story, so it will give you some chills. You'll probably chuckle a little bit because, being scared is fun, and being scared in a live theater with a bunch of people is also fun in a different way because it's not real, but then it's real for you if you let the story take hold. And it's also very touching. It talks about a lot of great themes.
Like physically touching or emotionally touching?
Emotionally touching.
Okay.
You can't touch the ghost.
Oh.
So yeah, come check out our show. It's a great piece. I'm very happy with how it's all come together. All wings return to base. Course laid in and prepare to make the jump to light speed on my mark. Also, please donate to the charity. What was the name of the charity again, Lexi?
The charity was ColoradoHealingFund.org.
Excellent. And we will see you all next week. Remember, the truths we cling to depend on our own point of view. Only the Sith deal in absolutes. Good night, everyone.
Home Alone 2 is 30 years old, so put that in your pipe.
Oh, Lord.
Ah!
God damn it. Damn it, Jason.
I had to sneak that in.
Oh, Long Live Green Ranger also.
Oh,
Oh,
rest
yes.
in peace, Jason
Yes.
David.